The health benefits of Bayberry are primarily due to its astringent effects. The uses include the support of the digestive system and the respiratory system, as well as healthy inflammation management and menstrual health support. It can be beneficial for a sinus problem. The herb helps in relieving some of the symptoms related with sinuses, like cold, flu, cough, and overactive mucous membranes. Traditionally, the root bark is dried and used as a nasal astringent to shrink and contract the tissue in the sinus cavity. The sinus cavity is located behind the eyes and the nose, and the cavity is an empty area for filtering air during breathing. During sinus problems, the cavity becomes inflamed and swollen, and this leads to excessive mucus production. The sinus infection can cause tremendous pain and congestion all over the face, head, and neck. The Bayberry can then be used to treat the sinus problems, as it helps to shrink the mucous membranes, and it doesn't allow the fresh mucus formation. It's said the herb effectively stimulates the circulatory system, and it forces the body to expel the mucus from the sinus cavity. It's used traditionally in the treatment of mouth and gum-related problems. People use it as a gargle to treat a sore throat and gum-related problems, like sensitive and bleeding gums. The herb is used externally to treat several skin-related problems like itching, hard-to-heal ulcers, skin infections, hemorrhoids, sores, dandruff, and wounds. It also helps in treating hair loss by removing dandruff from the scalp. The root bark of the bayberry contains high concentrations of tannins, and these are constituents that promote the tightening of the mucous membranes, and they help to protect against infection. The bayberry has been used traditionally as an anti-diarrhea medicine, as it reduces the leaking of fluid into the digestive tract, and thus it helps to prevent watery stools. Due to its astringent and emetic properties, it's used for treating digestive problems like indigestion, diarrhea, chronic gastritis, irritable bowel syndrome, and bowel inflammation. It supports the urinary system, the bladder, and the kidney function, and it can help to lessen symptoms like cramping, inflammation, irritation, and discomfort. It's excellent for kidney stones and gallbladder problems. It can be effective in the treatment of diarrhea. Research has suggested it improves the symptoms faster than antibiotics due to its astringent properties, but the antibiotics may be more effective at killing the bacteria in the intestines. The root powder of the bayberry can be used to treat problems in women like heavy menstrual bleeding and vaginal discharge. The herb was used to treat fever and infections, especially related to the nasal passage. It's said the herb has antibiotic properties. In Ayurvedic medicine, it was used to treat sunburn, diarrhea, and the mumps. It was also used as a treatment for bronchitis, hoarseness, and throat disorders. It was used for tonsillitis, swine flu, and diphtheria. It was used to treat a hemorrhage in the uterus, bowels, and the lungs, and it was used as a vaginal douche. It was used to treat colds, flu, fever, thrush, trench mouth, and alopecia. It's used internally in the treatment of diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, jaundice, fevers, colds, influenza, catarrh, excessive menstruation, and vaginal discharge. A tea made from the leaves was used in the treatment of fevers and externally as a wash for itchy skin. The herb is used as a tonic, stimulant, and a diarrhea treatment. It was used to heal wounds. Bayberry wax is used to make fragrant candles. A decoction is a good gargle and an injection in chronic inflammation of the throat. Externally, the powdered bark is used as a stimulant in indolent ulcers. It's also useful in the treatment of diarrhea, jaundice, and scrofula. Externally, a decoction made from the herb was used to cover slow-healing wounds, hemorrhoids, and varicose veins. A large dose was used to induce vomiting and as a treatment for poisoning. It can be effective for bleeding gums, sore gums, sensitive gums, and healthy and white teeth. The leaves and berries are used as a food flavoring. They can be brewed into a tea. They can be used as a substitute for bay leaf. Some common doses are a tea that's made by steeping 1 teaspoon in a pint of boiling water for 30 minutes and using this as a gargle for the sore throat. Or an extract by taking 10 to 20 drops in juice or water. Or gargle a liquid mixture made with an extract or a powder as a mouthwash. A half to 1 teaspoon of a tincture can be taken in a small glass of water 2 to 3 times a day. Externally, you could rub the liquid mixture on varicose veins or hemorrhoids as needed. There's a report that some of the constituents of the wax are carcinogenic. It can cause vomiting in large doses. One of the constituents, myricidol, can cause salt retention and potassium excretion. You should avoid it if you have high blood pressure or kidney disease. The tannins may cause gastrointestinal irritation and liver damage. The plant should not be used during pregnancy and breastfeeding. It can cause high blood pressure if taken in high doses, and it may cause nausea and vomiting. It's used in the treatment of narcotic poisoning. The bayberry pollen has been documented to cause allergic respiratory symptoms. It should not be given to infants or children. It's not suitable for people who have edema. It can make it worse. It might be harmful on the liver and the kidneys, and it might increase the risk of bleeding. So caution is advised in patients with bleeding disorders or patients who are at an increased risk of bleeding. To learn more about herbs, supplements, and natural treatment plans, check out my website.